media is public, right? Because I don't know, but sometimes when I'm scrolling through Twitter and I'm just reading posts and stuff, sometimes I feel like people maybe don't know that social that social media is public because some of the shit that I read, I'm like, bruh, this does not need to be on Twitter. You do not need to post your whole life story on Twitter. You don't need to be posting this drama because it should have been taken care of in DMs. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, get a diary. Get a diary and keep it under your bed or pillow or something. Twitter scares me. I feel like I'm in an asylum when I scroll. Yeah. Especially before I guess I had gotten the algorithm to kind of get used to what I like and stuff. I'd be scrolling and all of a sudden I'd just be like innocently scrolling and all of a sudden bam, a nude. And I was like, "Oh god, scroll faster because because I'm in public or something." That was scary. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people post way too much about their personal lives for the world to see. And I'm like, bruh, really? So yeah, let's see.
If I spill this bottle of water, my desk and everything on it will get wet.
Yes, they will. But yep, let's do it anyways. Oh no, it's wet now.
Oh my goodness! My desk and everything on it has gotten wet for reasons I can't understand! How could this have been prevented? Now, in the current state of the internet, I think it is crucial that we reinstill the ideas of
Can't believe it got wet when I knew it would get wet. Wow. Wow.
consequences and cause and effect. I really hope this is a good metaphor, because
Not
if
the
not, I gotta
consequences
clean this for no
of
reason.
my
Because I am
action.
sick and tired of people not realizing what they're getting themselves into by being so open online. I will never understand a human being who is not being held at gunpoint, who makes a video and in the midst of it says something to the effect of, I hope so-and-so doesn't see this. I've got an idea for you, buddy. Don't make it then.
Okay, I'm sorry, but when I see someone say that, they're like, I hope this person doesn't see this. I'm like, you want that person to see it. The only reason you're saying that is because you hope that that person will see it.
Because there's only two outcomes for this. Either the video does well or it doesn't. And of course you want it to do well. You want everybody to see it. Why'd you make it then? But like one of the direct consequences of a video doing well is that whoever you didn't want to see it is now going to see it. And like if you didn't want it to do well, then why did you even post it? You could have just keep it to yourself. Tell your friends. Put it in a group chat. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called wanting to stir the pot. Okay? They want to stir the pot. Why not just message the person at that point? Right? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If you have a problem with someone, message them. Message them. Or block them. You don't have to make a public post about them. Agreed, I found an embarrassing Facebook post of mine from like 13 years ago, losing my mind at the people I followed. But in Sims terms, they were posting about their woohoo needs. Oh my god. Like, why would you post about? Oh my god. Like, okay, the only exception I will make is if you're in a specific group for that stuff. Okay? But if it's just out in the wild, like, why? Why? My social media is now just random pictures I take that I think look cool and my cat. That's awesome. That sounds like an awesome social media feed. My Twitter is Mostly drama, I think. Most of the time it's just drama. I try so hard. Boy, do I ever try so hard to resist commenting on most of it, okay? But sometimes I cannot help myself. Sometimes I can't help myself. Sometimes I can't, and I have to comment. I don't know what my Twitter feed is now. It's been a while since I scrolled, but I think it's mostly drama free. Oh, that's good. You know what? I guess I probably click on things and read all the drama and comments and everything, and then the algorithm is like, "Oh, hey, she likes this stuff." I don't think it's possible for Twitter to be drama free. Nope, definitely not.
Why am I hearing about it? So why do people act like fools on the internet, get too personal, and talk about things that probably should have stayed in the vault? I've got two ideas.
For attention.
Some things just don't need to be shared with everybody because not everybody has the bandwidth to deal with all of your problems right now. And when you try and get really personal with a person who is not ready for it or is unwilling to do it, the reaction is not flattering. And on that note, your life isn't the Truman Show. Not every part of your life needs to be broadcast, retold, or repurposed as content. Some things you can just keep inside. I think all of those points can be so accurately portrayed in the following example.
I am processing the most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years.
Wait, so my entire family just died in a plane crash? No, sorry, I just don't really know what to say. Could I actually call you back later?
Let's analyze, shall we? I'm sure going through a breakup can be very tough for many people, and I think many people can relate to that struggle, and I'm almost impressed and flattered that you feel comfortable sharing this experience with us. But my dear, why would you share it like this? Because I think this perfectly exemplifies that there is a
It's fine to share the experience. You know, get it off your chest, or, you know, talk about your experience, how you dealt with it and this and that. Like, that's fine. But you don't need to go into extreme intimate details and take a video of yourself freaking out like that. Like, that's a little bit much. In my personal opinion. That's a bit much. If my life was the Truman Show, people would bleach their eyes. Oh my god. Damn. Like, I can't believe she did that. Videoed herself. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Difference between being authentic online and just like the death of privacy. Because there are multiple videos about breakups. You know, people being very somber, very, I don't want to say serious, but they're being very real about an experience that they've gone through with another person. Not as many jokes. It's not exactly light, but it's not too heavy. You feel like this person is being open, honest, and raw. But for your own sake and dignity, not everything needs to be disclosed, and certainly not everything needs to be depicted. Do we see the difference in the two scenarios that we've just seen? Both are essentially the same thing, except one is positively received, and the other one is not, because the second one just seems more real. It feels like a real conversation you could have with a person, and you kind of see that the person respects themselves by deciding to keep some details private. And because we see that this person respects themselves, we respect them. In fact, we can even feel flattered and honored that they decided to disclose any details in the first place. People view social media as a representation of who they are, a mirror of their life almost, which is kind of true to an extent. When you first meet somebody, what do you use to make a judgment of who they are? Probably something like how they dress, or who they're friends with, or how they speak, you know, something like that. No,
yeah, things like that, their mannerisms, stuff like all that stuff. The basic things that you'll see right off the bat. I want the world to know about the bangin' pizza egg rolls I just made, not how my imaginary girlfriend left me. I made these awesome freaking pizza rolls, okay? They have, like, so much cheese in them. But Teagle, you can make the pizza rolls as you tell everyone about your horrible breakup. with the imaginary girlfriend. You could just be like aggressively making these pizza rolls. And like the whole time as you're aggressively making these pizza rolls, you're just like, and then she told me I messaged her too much and she couldn't stand it anymore. So she left me. She left me. She said I'm not a real man because I message too often and men aren't supposed to do that. Of course, sometimes people go further, like with someone they are looking into getting into a serious relationship and try to background check them. Oh my god. Yeah. Yep. They're like, "Oh, I'm interested in this dude. Let's go track down all their social media and see what they see what they do. See who they follow and all that stuff." It gets crazy.
Seems that you can add social media to that list because somebody's social media presence kind of says something about them. Even if they don't have social media, that idea of no, I don't use Instagram anymore, you know, it wasn't good for me. That kind of speaks to that person, good or bad, you make your decision. Part of your first impression of a person. For example, if this girl had this as her Instagram page, that would make total sense, right? No, but nobody disagrees. We're all in agreement. That's accurate.
Okay.
But what if it was his Instagram account? I know I'd have a question or two.
Yeah, I would be like, you know what? I would have questions, but at the same time, I really wouldn't care either. I'd be like, hey, you know, that's cool. He likes this kind of aesthetic. I don't care. He can post whatever he wants, man. Sobbing. And she said I was too addicted to gamer subs. Anyway, now we're gonna deep fry this bad boy at 350 degrees. Yep, exactly. She couldn't handle the fact that I bought more gamer subs instead of getting her something for Valentine's Day. Okay, the pizza rolls are done now. We're gonna eat them.
Point is, social media is part of how we judge people now. Are these identifiers such as looks, who we hang out with, how we speak in our socials, are those what make us who we are? Absolutely not. But you can't deny when you're meeting somebody for the first time, these are the only things you have. Therefore,
Yes.
it makes total sense that you would want all these things to make you look good. So on this whole thing of being authentic and real, I think it should be noted, it's not vain or fake to want to present yourself well. You dress well and you groom yourself not because you're afraid to be the real you, it's because you're a normal adult and showing up to your friend's classy dinner party in sweat-stained sweats is not the move. Therefore, it is not inconceivable that your social media presence doesn't necessarily have to reflect the rawest version of yourself. It's okay to put up a bit of a facade just to represent who you would like to be, not necessarily who you are. I think we're all okay with the idea that social media is a highlight reel. We just
Yeah, you kind of like highlight all the good parts of your life. That's why when you try and compare yourself to people on social media, you're gonna get like all upset and everything because you're like, oh my god, their life is so great and this and that. But of course, their life looks good because that's all they're displaying on social media. They're not posting about all the bad parts.
understand that fact and we don't read into it too much. You know, like I don't need to know everything about you, man. Just give me the basics. It can be easy to overshare when you're tricked by the illusion of closeness. When you're around someone a lot or you have to interact with them, sometimes there can be something lost in translation where you think that, oh, because I see them all the time, we must be close. Think like coworkers and classmates, but really, that doesn't mean I know you. I don't even have to like you. I just have to see you. So although we are constants in
I don't know why, but that reminded me also, made my mind go into like the parasocialism thing where people who get parasocial with streamers, it can be because from their point of view, they're getting to know the streamer by watching by watching them and everything, so they kind of get it in their head that, oh yeah, like we're close friends and this and that. Meanwhile, from the streamer's point of view, they don't even know who you are. They don't know who you are, so there is a very big disconnect from that, and I think that's what definitely leads to some parasocialism. Yeah, people confusing their acquaintances with friends too. 100%.
Other's lives, it speaks nothing to our level of closeness. And I think this illusion is very easy to fall into on the internet. Again, you have millions of fans singing your praise, adoring everything you do. You think that these people love you, they know you, and they trust you. You have a deep relationship with them. You can get vulnerable with them if you need to.
Oh my
and for
God.
certain creators, that may be more true than others. But the fact is, in reality, you don't really know them, and they don't really know you. So one day you get a little bit too comfortable and say something that probably should have stayed in a journal of some sort, and then now we're all uncomfortable because of it, and we have to make fun of you now. There's no other choice. You did this. There are more productive methods to dealing with heavy and confusing emotions than to simply disclose them to anyone with ears. Have you considered interpretive dance, perhaps? Now, I'm not saying never let anybody in and only talk about the surface level, and your life is a fortress, and anybody who gets even close to your walls, you have the right to immediately shoot down in cold blood. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be aware of your surroundings and play it by ear. You know what that means in your life. Apply it accordingly. For example, I hate small talk, and I will always try and forge a close connection if I can. So there was this one time where I was with a friend I didn't even really know that well, and we were all hanging out and talking. So I was like, hey, how you doing? Is everything okay? She was like, yeah, well, not really, it's all right, but I haven't been feeling too great these past few days. I don't know. And I see this is my chance, so I'm like, hey, we trying to get into it or what? What are you thinking? She's like, yeah, let's get into it. And so I respond naturally, all right, tell me about your father. Now, I thought it was funny. My
Oh my God. Oh no. That's freaking hilarious. But can you imagine if something was actually wrong? She's like, well, actually.
friend thought it was funny. My sister, to whom I retold this story, she did not think it was funny. But that kind of demonstrates the whole point that I'm trying to make. You know, you gotta play it by ear. People are gonna react differently. You have to move accordingly. So if my friend did not laugh when I said that, that would have been my cue to cut the jokes, apologize, and lock in. We gotta be self-aware. It also be noted that oversharing is typically defined by the context of the situation. For example, sharing a funny story about your dead parents is okay on TikTok, I guess. On the first day of class during your icebreaker session, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Also, don't feel that every single emotion and thought needs to be displayed to the outside world, because they don't. If you think they do, that's very stupid.
Plus, like, even if someone invites you to vent to them, or, offers to be, like, your shoulder for comfort and stuff, you also have to consider how much you can actually dump on them. Like, you probably can't really dump the amount of stuff on a friend that you would on a therapist, for example. Because your friend is not going to be able to handle all that. And it will probably just stress them out. So you kind of have to have that, like, balance where it's like, okay, I have this friend who will be my shoulder to cry on, but I still kind of have to have that boundary where I'm not doing exactly what he said, where you're oversharing. And then your friend is, like, sitting there like, I feel really concerned right now or something, or, like, they don't know what to do, or it's stressing them out, or triggering them even. Stuff like that. Or if they say, yeah, you can vent, but they really don't want to hear it. I hate when people do that. They're like, yeah, I'm here to vent, so then you vent, and then they just leave you on red. And then you even, And then you feel even shittier than you did before you vented, because now you're like, oh, well, okay, I vented to this person and then they just kind of disappeared, so I guess they don't give a shit about me either. So I'm just gonna cry in bed now. Everyone has a little psychopath in them. Frick them, my introvert side is too big to tell anyone anything. I don't usually talk about like my problems with many people. Just my super close friends. Basically Lamb. Basically my friend Lamb. Some people suck at being active listeners too. Yep. I'm somewhat guilty. I am somewhat guilty of that. 'Cause I will let someone kind of like vent their frustration to me or tell me why they're upset and stuff, just for them to be able to get it off their chest. And sometimes I can be like, "Oh, it's fine, blah blah." I'll offer that comfort and ear to listen, but then also I'll be like I'll be like trying to give them advice or something or whatever, or ways that things could have been handled differently or this and that. And then they're like sitting there like, I don't need your advice, I just want you to listen. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's why I love my cat. She listens to everything I say, then comforts me by trying to eat my hand. It's okay, human. If I bite you and there is pain, then it will take your mind off. And you can focus on my teeth.
Because oftentimes feelings change, and that's normal and that's good, but once you've already voiced a feeling, changing that voicing of that feeling can be difficult, and then changing that voicing of that feeling can be even harder, and then any changing of voicing after that is just annoying. Almost as annoying as the phrase changing of voicing. Like, have you ever had a crush on a person for like a week and then get over it after that? That's a normal phenomenon. We've all been there.
Sort of.
But
yeah.
Are you an idiot and you told that person how you felt as soon as you did?
Oh, no.
That's different.
No. No, any crushes that I had like in high school and stuff, I never said anything to them. I admired from afar, and that was it.
Because now you've put everybody in an uncomfortable situation that nobody asked to be in, and it was just stupid. If you took a week more to kind of understand how you felt, you were patient and had some sort of self-control, we'd all be better for it. But now we're here, and nobody likes it here. Why would you do that? So as a general rule of thumb, understand how you feel and what you mean before you put blanket statements out into the world, because it is difficult to take them back. It is most definitely not desirable to have to keep amending and changing what you meant, because it's kind of like when a company announces a product that is nowhere near being ready.
Oh my gosh. That car is the ugliest piece of shit I have ever seen. And I see one driving around in the neighborhood sometimes. And every time I see it, I'm like, holy, look at that absolute giant eyesore. You would have to pay me to drive that. And imagine trying to park. Imagine trying to park in that stupid thing. It's just like I don't know. Like a Minecraft car. It's ugly as freaking heck. No offense to anyone who owns it. Okay, if you like it, that's fine. But I think it's ugly. Wouldn't be so bad if it did literally anything it was advertised to. I don't know what it's advertised to do. I just know I would never be caught driving it. I see one at least once a week, and my faith in humanity lowers just a bit more. Big block on wheels. Sorry, not sorry. Yup. Yup. I don't know.
So there's a bunch of delays and bugs and patches. Nobody likes that. No one likes that. And look, I just want to take this time and say, look, I'm sorry. I'm not a therapist, and I hate that every time I do a video like this, it always comes back to your feelings and what's your relationship with your father and everything about your childhood and your upbringing. I'm sorry. I'm not a therapist. I don't have my stuff together. I'm a 20-year-old, and I spent 2 hours on TikTok in my bed this morning, all right? I'm not fixed. It's just
The
the
bed
more I do
rotting,
research
no.
on actions and behaviors of people on the internet, it always comes back to the human psyche, all right? I'm not a psychologist. I'm just trying to... I Google things sometimes.
The attention economy.
As we've discussed prior in other videos, attention is a powerful thing that we all want. And on the internet,
Yep.
it's pretty much a drug. Again, you can literally have millions of people singing your praises and making you believe you could do no wrong. You can see why that's tempting, right? And in a very weird way for me, I can kind of speak on this just a little bit. There is something about the rush of dopamine for me to make a new video and then to see all the notifications come in of like nice comments from people. It's always nice. I enjoy it. Thank you very much. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I'm okay with that. But attention doesn't always have to come from doing something good. In fact, to do that, you'd have to be like talented or skilled or disciplined in some way, shape, or form. That's boring. I don't want to do that. Like, think back to your school days. Who typically got like a lot of attention from classmates and faculty? On the one hand, there were the smart kids. They got good grades. They were on honor rolls, straight A's. All the teachers liked them. You always knew who to partner with when there was group projects. They always...
You'd be like, oh, good. I need them on my team. I need them on my group. Ah, shit, someone else is heading there. Run. And then there's like the loud kids, I think, probably. The loud kids that would get all the attention, and you're like, wow, I wish I could be like them. I wish I could be like them. 15 stream streak. Let's go, Massacre. Thank you. You are so bunny that I haven't missed a stream yet. Heck yeah. I'm glad you think I'm funny. Bunny, even. Because sometimes I feel like I'm boring. I'm boring. Attention. Dude, I'm a stealth build. I'm trying to get through this raid undetected. I don't like being noticed either, honestly. I don't like it. I'll sit there and be like, okay, I'll wait till everyone's gone and then I will go do the thing. But hypocritically, like he said, you know, when I post a YouTube video, it's nice to see the views go up. And when they don't, I'm like, I'm a failure. I'm just a failure. It's fine. But I know the algorithm takes a couple of days, I think, to pick up the videos. Then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not a failure. Maybe. Now I'm curious about the hole in the wall. Wait, he has a... I didn't notice. What?
always did well in the test. And yeah, because of all that...
Oh my god, there is literally... How did I not notice? There's literally a hole in the wall, sir. How did that... Damn.
They got good attention. But then there were also the not good kids. They would always disrupt class, and like the principal knew them on a first name basis, and like there was that one time that they slapped the substitute teacher. We all had like
Oh
one
my
of those,
gosh.
right? That's not just me. Frankly, I'd argue
No.
that kid got way more attention than any smart kid, because shock value is more worthy of immediate attention.
Yeah. Oh!
If you weren't paying
Oh,
attention, you're
God.
paying attention now.
Okay.
Shock value, baby. Look, you can think about it like a math equation.
Frick
Shock
you.
value equals attention
you.
equals money and internet fame. Great, simple enough. So all you have to do is go on your phone and record yourself saying or doing the most grotesque and offensive thing you can possibly think of.
Okay, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go do it. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna do it. Shock value content coming soon. That's how I'll get rich and famous. I like it more when people I care about give it a like. Yes, this too. That's too. If any of my like, if anyone who is like a regular doesn't like my stuff, I'm like, no, what do you mean? I'm like, no, what do you mean? That's why I was like kind of scared when I transitioned from all gaming content to now I'm doing mostly React content with a little bit of gaming mixed in. I was kind of scared of making that transition, but at the same time, um I want to do what I enjoy. so so and thankfully it seems most people in that were in my community have enjoyed the reactions plus the games now too. So I guess it kind of worked out in the end. What's she gonna do with that cup? I'm gonna throw it at the wall. As long as the shock value doesn't depend on violating consent, it's all good. As a lot of people have the idea of not considering consent in the quest for shock value. Yeah, like the freaking people who go like, oh man, what was that guy's name? I don't know. The people who are like a pest to everyone out in public piss me off. That pisses me off. Leave people alone. No, not that kind of shock content. I would never do that. Ever.
But you're not going to do that. Why is that? Well, because I didn't fully break
Yeah,
down
pranksters.
the equation. You see, shock value is really just a variable. The equation for that variable being bad actions minus shame. Look, I'm sure you can think of a terrible action or a terrible monologue or hey, maybe even a terrible word that would get you a lot of attention on the internet. But because you're an adult with a working pulse and an ounce of shame, you're not going to do it. Or at the very least, you're not going to do it with the intention of getting a lot of people to look at you doing it. Societal shame is so important because it's exactly what prevents you from bursting out with laughter at a funeral or punching an old lady on the subway because she took the last seat. I mean, sure, I guess being a good person is part of it, but you can't deny that the societal backlash from certain actions and behaviors is enough to prevent us from doing a lot of things. I hate it when people feel comfortable just to say whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want, anytime they want. I think I already said whenever, so anytime is, I didn't need to say that, but you get the idea. Like, I hate reviews and explanations of drama that are so exaggerated that whatever description you're making is not even really accurate, and it's just mean at this point. And if you point it out, that person will just say, what? I'm just expressing my genuine opinion that may be so.
Oh my
but
God.
you're also being a jerk. Being authentic and being yourself
Yeah.
does not give you free reign to treat people any way you want just because you're so real like that. There is a way to be honest and real with people while still maintaining their dignity and showing basic respect for others. I mean, sometimes this behavior gets called out, but I'd say for the most part, in my experience, if somebody is bashing something that the internet has already decided they don't like, they can essentially say anything. Doesn't matter if it's fair. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if it's true. If we decide we don't like it, or you're trying to convince us not to like something, it'll get attention either way. Doesn't really matter if it's factual or fair or right or just or insert another
Oh my goodness.
adjective. Because all publicity is good publicity. And attention, good or
Apparently,
bad,
yeah.
in some way on the internet, it's weird, but all attention is seen as approval. In a way. Hold on. Let me explain that. Because at its core, you are telling the person, hey, we as the internet are going to interact with this anytime you do it.
Yeah, I think I know what, maybe I know what he means. Because even, like, for example, you post a video and it pisses people off. So now they're making hateful comments on this thing. But the algorithm doesn't care. It only sees that this video is getting so much attention with the comments, so it's gonna boost the hell out of it. So that's why when you get like hate comments and everything, it's like, oh, well, thanks for the hate. You're only boosting my content. Yeah, rage baiting. Rage baiting. Posting stuff intentionally to get bad, to piss people off so that they will comment a bunch of stuff, and then you're sitting there laughing anyways because your post is going viral. After you mentioned that, I can't stop looking at the hole. Honestly, same. Now we need to find out how it got there.
If you keep doing this, we will keep talking about it. It therefore incentivizes the person to keep doing the thing, good or bad. The only form of disapproval that actually works on the internet is to not give it attention. Like, have you ever made a video that got like almost no views? I myself have done it many times. If you have,
Yes.
you know that feeling of never wanting to do that again? Like, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, I put all this work into this and nobody's even watching it. I don't want to do this. I mean, that's why people have to make videos about, no, if you're gonna start your YouTube channel, keep going. Don't pay attention to the numbers. Just keep doing it for the love of art. But it's like really hard to do that when there are 3 views average. That feeling that you're feeling,
Yeah,
you can do that
true.
to somebody else. The best tool you have on the internet to stop them from doing something is to ignore it. So yeah, if there's somebody on the internet that you really don't like,
Oh, yeah.
don't give them a dislike.
Yeah, like if just keep scrolling. If you truly don't want something to get attention, just keep scrolling. Don't comment on it, don't click on it, don't like it, nothing. Just keep scrolling. But nope, most everyone has to engage with it. Most everyone has to engage. Seems rage baiting is just taking trolling to the next level, as not only are you trolling, but you are then trying to exploit the algorithm to reach more people. Yep. Cuz exactly like he said, you'll see that, oh, this post got like huge, so let me do that again. Even if it was something that's unfavorable.
Or a hate comment, just block them. Refusing to give them
Exactly.
attention is the best defense you have. So in the end, understand
Like,
how you are.
just don't give them the attention that they want. Because they want the attention, so don't give it to them. If you don't give them the attention, they will get bored and leave.
Presenting yourself. Show basic respect for other people, and if you are going to be stupid and bad, do everybody a favor and just do it at home. Still have wet napkins from the beginning.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, literally, I see people making like rage posts. This person did this to me, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, just, you're literally giving them the attention they want. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyways, yeah, I agree with this dude. I agree with him. You don't need to be posting your life story everywhere. You don't need to go into super great detail. You don't need to make rage posts about this person did this to me and we need to cancel them now and this and that and whatever. Most of the times, all this stuff can just be handled privately in DMs or just block them and move on with your life. It is a lot less stressful. You will eliminate so much stress in your life if you just stop giving a shit about things that don't matter. Like, literally. The best is when people post stuff that is unhinged, expecting others to back them up, and are shocked when they don't. So they make another post complaining about it. Yeah, they like make another post trying to like double down or something. Or they'll be like, well, you know what? I didn't mean it that way, and blah blah blah, whatever. Like, you all suck. Like, obviously it was supposed to be a joke or something. As odd as it sounds, that's true. It gets way better as soon as you just stop giving a shit. Yeah, honestly. I have that was like a big lesson for me all of last year is to literally just stop giving such a shit. Just stop giving such a shit of what people think of you. Um and you know, if someone does some kind of shitty thing to you, well, that's shitty of them, and block them and move on. Stop dwelling on it. It just stop trying to get justifications. Just move on. Enjoy what you do and do it because it's fun. Exactly. Exactly. Like if you're I don't know why this is my example that came to my head, but if you're a dude and you like gardening and people make fun of you because of the gardening, like, "Oh, you're a guy and you like gardening." Yeah, I'm a guy and I like gardening. Go cry about it. While I actually you can cry on my roses because they because they kind of need to be watered right now, so if you could go cry on them, that would be great. Like, you know, I see posts too where the people are like, "Oh, please don't come into my stream and say I'm fat or whatever." And like I just meanwhile I'm like I don't know, if someone came in here and called me fat, I'd be like, "Okay, and what are you going to do about it?" Maybe I am fat. What are you going to do about it? You going to Are you going to go like cry? What's your point? You're fat. No, you're fat. Maybe I'm so fat that I can just roll to Taco Bell, okay? I don't even need a vehicle. I can just roll there. I save on gas. Just roll to my destination.